Welcome to this video where I would show you what is Solana Blinks, what Solana action used to build the Blinks, and at the same time we will set up how to set up Solana Blinks and build your first Solana action that can be on 4 Blinks. So we'll take it step by step, and like if you see on the screen now, this is an example of a Blink. Right inside X, formerly Twitter, you can see now that I posted this on the other project, which is Explore Web3 ecosystem, where I'm putting together different amazing projects from different ecosystems, starting from Solana. So you can see this, like the donation one, where they can donate, and you can see it that with posting the link, whoever wants to donate doesn't need to move away from the X platform to go and donate. They just need to click the amount they want to donate or specify, and then once they click, for example, it pop up the wallet that you have connected, and then you can donate and it will put it there executed. So the major good part of Blinks, which is blockchain link, is to make it easier for bringing in interaction into different platforms like social media, where people can do things that they will usually need to go out of the platform to the website, to your website or dApp before they can do it. But now, straight inside of it, you can imagine, think of games and a lot of things that people can do, meeting NFT, voting, and all those things. So all these are what Blinks brings to the table, and we will take it step by step. I have a guide we will be going through to use, but I just want to show you an example. But usually when you are starting, you will have something like this, that you can see that same post, you can see it. It's not showing Blinks because you need some setup to have the Blinks start showing, usually on desktop, but there's also integration now that makes it to work on some mobile platform through the Blinks mobile SDK and things like that. So I will go through everything. So if you are new to Blinks, this is an ultimate guide for you that will help you through, and I will be following the written ultimate guide I did, which covers everything you need as just hearing Solana Blinks for the first time, to setting it up and start using it, engaging, and then to moving to building your own. As you know that this platform, dProgramming University, I majorly focus on Web3 development aspect. So I talk about non-development on the Explore Web3 platform, but on this dProgramming University, for the student that already knows, is purely Web3 development. So we will not complete the video without going also developing our own first Solana action and Blinks. So if you are ready for that, let's get into the video fully. Welcome, dear friend. I'm Solomon Foske, founder of dProgramming University, a free Web3 development education platform. Please note our content are for education purpose only, not financial, trading, investment, programming, or development advice into any of the platform discussed. Always do your own research. And please, we may get sponsorship, partnership, token, or whatever form during, before, or after creating this content, but we try as much as possible to remain unbiased and make it educative. If that agreed on, let's get right into this content. Yeah, like I said, now let's take it one by one, from how do you set up a Blinks, so that you know how to set all those things. But first we need to know what is a Blinks and why is it like the hypes and all there in the Solana and beyond ecosystem, even now moving into EVM, Ethereum, and more like that. So this guide, you have the link in the description, which I did, and that's what we are going to follow. So if we go through the intro, so what's Blink, and in case you need support or things like that, you can join the platform. Just go read the guide as well. I wrote this myself. Understanding Solana action and blinks. So let's take a quick dive. What are Solana blinks? Explained for beginner. First, I need to quickly clarify that Solana blinks is an acronym of Solana blockchain links. So it is this B, capital B, and then links that was added to call it Solana blink. So it's not the same eye blinking if you add or how they came across the name. And I've shown you an example. This is an example of a Solana blinks, which is NFT minting and mints about 100,000. Okay, this one is about 1 million. I think the Send or something mint 100,000. So you can see it. You are able to mint an NFT right inside the platform. You saw it maybe, or you can imagine maybe you see it, let's say for example, on Discord, on Telegram, on Twitter, X, Instagram, on different platforms like that. So you can easily just click another Web3 platform like maybe Discover and things more and more like that. So you can interact with it. So who are those people that develop Blinks? Blinks was developed by a company called DYOR. So they have done a lot of other things in Web3, in Solana especially, but not really it mainstream like the Blinks. So the Blinks really brought them into limelight. Now, what are Solana actions? So we've been hearing what is Blinks, and you know what Blinks is blockchain action, which is like an interface that help you to display like a UI that interprets Solana actions on different platforms like social media, website, apps, mobile, and all those things like that. So, but what is behind the scene that makes it possible for this NFT, for example, to show on Twitter for you to mint? Why is it that, normally if you post the link, then people will just see it, will just show maybe this and then description, and you will have to click on it and go to the website, which like this one was hosted by 3D Land. So you have to go first to that site, 3D Land, before you can start minting, connect your wallet. But now, this open up all these features for you by the ability of Blinks. But now, we know that there's something behind the scene that makes it possible. And that is what is called Solana actions. So represent the basic primitive action that can be performed on Solana blockchain. So think of Solana action like things like vote, like specific actions you can take on Solana blockchain, like vote, mint, create new token, you understand? Vote for a DAO, you get donate, make payment, all those actions. They are the things that are built, that are now interpreted through the Blinks for you to interact with. That's why there are specific things you do with them, like you can mint, vote, and things like we've said. So Solana action is a rebranding of previously popular Solana blockchain payment primitive known as Solana Pay. So if you have heard about Solana Pay, it allows people to integrate payment for people to receive payment, Solana payment, and maybe Solana SPL token, Solana token on different websites. So it's an upgrade to it. Now, instead of just for payment, you can use it for different things. And when you look at, actually, everything you do on chain is all about payment, sincerely. Because as a developer, you see, if you are donating, you are minting an NFT, you are doing a voting, everything is a transaction. It boils down to its transaction. So the transaction might now be, okay, mint, but at the same time you are paying like maybe transaction fee or things. So you can now shape it to different things, and that will matter for you to grab this as a developer. And as we move on, because we will be building our own Blinks, your first Blinks in this video, And at the same time, that particular link, even though it might be simple like a memo, but if you can think enough, you can turn it around to build a lot of different links, because everything is just about basic action as long as people can interact with the blockchain. So what are the relationship between Solana action and blinks? Like I've said, they are majorly, it is the action that talk to the blockchain to do specific things. Why the blink is the UI. Look at it as the action are like the backend. You know, when people come to your website or to your dApp, you have something running. You are using Twitter, X, for example. You are posting, people are seeing it. Each time you create a post you like, it is actually being recorded on the database, on the back end of X platform. And anytime people need it, it shows up for them. So it's the same thing. When whatever you are doing in the front end of a blink is being handled by a Solana action. A Solana action is majorly has been made to be so easy that it's just like you are building an API. So if you have gone through the programming university courses, the 100 days bootcamp, and it's free, you can enroll and take all the courses. If you have gone through it, I've ensured that you learn the basic of Web3 development. And in that course, you see, like in the course bootcamp curriculum, in the courses that are there, you have this Web3 development that introduces you to. Then you have the front end, which teaches you HTML. We thought about API for Web3 development, JavaScript, API, GraphQL. All these things are essential. That's why I said it then, that they are very essential if you are going to Web3 development, except you just want to focus on smart contract development. But if you truly want to be a full stack developer, Web3 developer, you need it. And then you will appreciate it more with these blinks, because over here now you need it, that same skill. So if you are new and like, oh, I don't even understand API Web3, then I will recommend you go and enroll for this. You can even take most of the courses without enrolling, but I encourage you to enroll so that you can keep track. And in future, we may be issuing some NFT for certification and some things like that. Still, like, not decided on all those things, because all these courses are for free. So still working on different things that will make things more solid for the student that have graduated and those that will. But for now, it's open. You can, and it will be free. But what I mean for now is that you can access it even without logging. But maybe in future, some of it will be logged down again, but it still be free for you. So log in so that you can, since it's free to join, you can also take exercises and learn a lot. So we will need that skill as well here, because you are dealing majorly with API. So if you are already used to handling API, then this will be a bit much easier for you than if this is your first time. And if your first time, you can go and take the course. Now, benefit of using Action and Blink in Solana development. So you will now wonder, what's now the difference from building the normal dApp and things like that? It didn't remove that. What you should see Blinks as is another new interface. You know, it's just like you have different social media, and you know, once you post there, it gives exposure. So Blinks is another way to give exposure to your project. So like now, for example, you can take donation without people leaving and need to come to your website. So if you are doing tweets or things like that on Twitter, on different platforms, Discover, Web3 platform, social media, and some other platform like that, people can instantly donate for you there without the need to leave. You understand what I'm saying? People can instantly mint your NFT there without the need to come to your site, and things like that. So it's another means of exposure. It's like taking Web3 to Web2, where people are already existing in Web2, they can now just have access to it without the need to have to go to the other dApp and things like that, and also help give more exposure, which will also translate to more people discovering whatever you're doing and then increase the adoption rate. So the ease of use and accessibility and adoption. So the concept of Solana action and blinks, that's what are the concepts behind it. Like I said, this is how Solana action and blinks actually works. So if I look at this, like I told you, look at Solana actions. These are the Solana actions. This is action client, which we call the blinks. And then let's say this is your user. So if you look at this diagram, for example, you can see that you have your Solana action here. This is your user. Your user, it can be a QR code, it can be link or a button, you understand. On X, for example, that your user click on the X platform like this. So your user wants to click to donate. So it's a button, or they input it and then they end up clicking a button to send that, okay, I want to donate one soul. You understand? I want to donate 12 soul, and then they send. So when they send, what are those things that is happening? You need to understand this before we actually go into the development. If you don't, if you already have the idea, you can skip this section. But if you don't, you had better grab these things, because most times it is not about development that is difficult. But when a developer doesn't actually understand or being able to comprehend the processes involved in what you are trying to develop, and all you are only about is just the code, then you know, my existing student knows, I tell you, you're only wasting your time, because you will get frustrated and it might even become too difficult to do. But when you understand the process, it may take a little time, a little patience. Then by the time you start coding, it will be much easier and faster for you. So now that's the action you are seeing there that users see, like on X, and then the user click on it. This trigger your Solana action you are building there, that donate, make payment, purchase and things like that, mint NFT, vote. So to activate it, it will make a get request to get a metadata. Like I told you, if you have gone, that's why it took time that to go and create this AI enhanced front end for Web3 development. So if you are getting into Web3 development, especially you want to learn about the front end dApp development, then go through this course. You see, it's loaded from beginner to everything you need here. So if you have learned, you remember when we talk about get request and post request, and some other things you can do with API. So like put, you can post, you can update, you can delete and things like that. So now the major thing you do here is your get request, usually for you to get information. So that's the first thing that is being done. You try to get information, which is the metadata, and that metadata is what will display this. Like, okay, what should be the image that will be displayed? What will be the title? What will be the description? Is it going to have a button or 2 buttons or 3 buttons? Is it going to have an input box or 1 input box or 3? You get all those things. So it's hard to request it. That is why, for example, when in our case here that we don't have it set up, you see it. That's not because it's not able to make that request because we didn't set up the blinks in our browser. So which we will do together, but it's good you have understanding based on what I'm doing now. So that's why you see this just showing the normal thing that will happen without blinks. So it will show, and somebody as a user need to click and then takes you to the page of the dApp. You can see it. That is now bringing me the same thing. You see it here. It's bringing the same thing for me here. But instead of doing that, I can have it here once I set up blinks. So let's, then once that get the metadata, it return it back and show that UI that you have seen. Then the user can interact by like click a button, then it shows them and make a post request. That means when you have idea of API, post request, like when you post on X, for example, it make a post request to post that into their database. That means add it, that content. So that's why if you see here and click send, it will say executing and pop up the wallet for us to click and maybe do whatever. You can see whatever wallet you have set up. It will know how to set all that together. So you can see it now. It will do it and make post request. Then once the post request is made, that action based on whatever you have set as your post request will respond with custom serialized transaction. So as a transaction, Solana transaction that you have set that people should be able to write a memo, make donation, mint, it will return it and show the details. Then you can approve the transaction. That's what you saw when it was popping up. That so as only I approve the transaction, then it will take it back, sign and send the transaction to the blockchain. And that is when I will get a return feedback like, okay, this thing has been done. Once I do that, it will tell me this has been done. So that's the major thing, and you need to understand this before you jump and start developing. Because if you don't, it's an issue. Yeah. So now, real world use cases, DeFi, NFT, gaming, and things like that. And meanwhile, soon we'll be launching a kind of a game, quiz game with Blinks on Explore Web3 platform, which you can follow. It is, if you have been part of the student on Explore on the programming on our Discord, you'd have known I'm working on this project. Previously was Explore Solana, but decided to make it Explore Web3 so that it's much easier to expand and cover different ecosystems, starting from Solana, then expanding to more. So you can see it, then you can follow and the platform as well. So if all these things, you will be able to engage in game. Yeah, it will be like a daily quiz game. I'm still working on it. I've already even gotten approval from the Blink registry. You also learn about that. So all those things are what we are doing, and then you'll be able to aim interacting with the quiz, learning Web3 on daily basis and things like that. So you'll be able to interact. So watch out for it. Maybe on the Discord, I may announce it as well. So working on it. And the knowledge you gain from this is what I also use to build it. So it's so essential. Now, like I told you, if you have known all this, you can skip it. But if you're a beginner, you know, if you already watch any of the programming course or something, I take my time. I used to say it, if you feel I'm wasting time, you are free to skip it. But whatever I've explained, please never come back to ask me in the Discord or anything. I will either ignore you or refer you back. So you cannot always want things in hurry, miss the basic, and then you want to start building. No. So, but if you have already understood the basic, nothing, just skip and you'll be fine. Now, we have Solana Blink documentation that you can check out, which are so essential. We have the official one from Solana Foundation, and the Solana action is handled by Solana Foundation and Solana Foundation. So the Blinks aspect is by Dialect, so it's like a joint something. This handling the backend, and then the front end that makes it work on all these social media and not any other app or things like that. So you'll see it here. Then Blinks enabled wallet. What are the wallets you can use? We have Souffle, Phantom, Backpack, and more. I think even with EVM, you can use things like OKX wallet and things like that. So, and you know, Backpack also supports EVM. So that's something to note. So Solana Blink Chrome extension. By the time you'll be watching, there could be some more native integration. But now, how do you access and activate and set up Solana Blinks to be working for you like you see it now? You want it to start displaying like this instead of just this. So you need first maybe the Chrome extension. I prefer to use the Chrome extension if on computer, and if you're on mobile, you may need to activate it in your specific what do they call it, wallet. And then once they support it on mobile, not every one of them does now, but the SDK is already out, so we'll start seeing some projects supporting it. And even on mobile, even if it's not showing directly like this, if you click the link, it will bring you to the DALlet website, which is DY2, that unfold. That means unwrap the action into Blinks, which means even on mobile, you can still connect your Phantom or Software through the DALlet DY2 website and still make use of it. So it's not like entirely, but it might not display directly like it does on this. It might not unfold directly, but I believe maybe by the time you'll be watching, it would. Now, once you have that, we need to download the extension. Then with that extension, anywhere Blinks is enabled, on X, for example, for now, and other ones that will be coming, you can easily have it. So we just need to add this to our Blink, our platform. You see, and it doesn't take time. You can see. So based on the wallet you have installed, it will tell you to pick which wallet you want to make default. For example, if you activate it, you see Blinks are natively supported in Backpack, so you don't need to switch. You can use also like Backpack wallet. So for example, now I can pick Software. Blinks should only be enabled for one wallet at a time, so that you can imagine you want to click Mint and then it's confused. Should you use Phantom? Should you use Software? Should you use? So that's why it's try to help you select one. This one try to take priority over others. So it's only when there is issue with it, then you can switch. And at any point in time, you can always come and pin it if you want, or pin if you don't, and then click and select. Maybe in future, there will be other extra features that will be there, but now you can just use it to switch between the wallets you have installed. So we have select Software, and then you will see that immediately we have this. Let's just try to duplicate this so that it will refresh. Just notice, you see it's showing like this. Then it's on 4. You can see what we learned. It first try to make a call, a get call, to once it sees that, but if it doesn't see the like the extension, then it will not be able to even make any call or anything like that. But once that is able to make the call, get request, get all the data, metadata, which it changes from this to this, and you can see that this is more engaging. Like people are scrolling and then suddenly they saw, they're like, wow. Then, oh, okay, you can donate, and then I can just donate directly instead of the need to click to the website or wherever to donate. And once I have connect, an advantage of it, for example, if I'm doing on the website, I can connect my wallet, and then if I want to donate to another person or meet another NFT or things like that, I also need to go and connect on their own website or dApp. But now I can just connect a single wallet, and if I keep seeing any other Blink on my status, I can just click on them and start interacting with them. You understand? So that's how you can set up your Solana blinks and start making. So henceforth now, anywhere any blinks you see we start unfolding, you see it for us to see. So you see why I said it's good we go through this step by step. And how do you test if you are building? So we are now that you understand what it is, how it came to be, the things working behind the scene. If you now want to build, you will need things like, that's the DYOR website that you see me click on before, and then you have inspector blinks inspector, which you see it on Explore Web3. You can see details, and from there you can go to the website. And this, when you are developing, is so helpful as well, which is it was developed by one of the Solana Foundation diff rail. Yeah, so you can, I think, yeah, by Nick, yeah, by Nick Frost Butter, sorry for the pronunciation. So he built this and is under Solana Foundation, and you can use it, just paste. We know how to make all this, and that's the section we are going into after this. So I think I've been able to, get you through this one step by step, and the video is getting already long, so I've decided to make a section 2 which will now focus on the development for us. So that will likely be maybe episode the 1 and maybe A, B, or 2, or episode 2. So you'll be able to check how you can now develop your blinks. Use all these tools, because the guide have now moved to the section that talk about Solana action. We start breaking it down. You can see it now, Solana action. Maybe we should just go through some of it before I probably off it. So I've told you the Solana action will contain options, about 5 things. The URL that you provide, which you see, the option, the get request. You remember that you make a get request, then get a response. You will get a response, when you make a request. Then post request, which will be your transaction that we send to the Solana blockchain, and then the post response that you will receive. So Solana action and blinks common issue. What are the common issue you will see? Like cause header error. You usually see a cause header error there. Like there's an error here. How do you sort it out? You need to understand that as well. How do you sort the error out? Which, like, this is API. If you ever know API, you should not be surprised there's cause error. So it's, I think, cross origin resource, things like that, which make sure that that request is actually coming from a genuine request and not spoofed, so that people will not spoof your API request and things like that and use it to hack or send wrong details to your user and hack it and things like that. So that's why it's so important, but we'll know how to get all those done. Then options error. This option response to do a pre-flight. Like I told you, if you notice, that is why this wasn't unfolding, because once you load the site and you have this action link, it will try to make a pre-flight if it is possible. If it's not, it doesn't bother, it doesn't show anything. Or if there's error as well, it can show error, but that's why you see it. But if it's able to make that pre-flight to check that, okay, this could be a fault and the link is also correct, everything is okay, then that is when it will kick start everything, and then you have it as shown here. So you can see it now, and then compared to unfolding it for us here. So we have some limitations of Solana blinks you should know. So one of it is single session and not persistent. So what that means is that currently, by the time you'll be watching, that might have changed, that Solana action does not, like, if I'm working now, like I see this now, let's say it's like the game blinks that I'm talking about that I just built and will be unveiling. So make sure you are part, you join the Discord, the program investing Discord. You see link in this link in description. When you go to this, you will see link to join it. So if you are like, let's say you want to answer question and you're already doing it or interacting, once you refresh this, whatever you are doing ends there. It will start over again. So I believe maybe in future they may be able to fix that's able to work with maybe cookie or things like that, so that when you are doing something on and then you come back to that same link, you can continue from where you started from. But for now, that isn't working. But maybe when you're checking the limited support platform, by the time I wrote the guide, text version of this guide we are using, it was just X, that's Twitter. But after that, there was introduction of Blink mobile, Blink SDK. So there's other blinks that are also trying to make it easy for you to work on Discord and things like that. So by the time you use it, so testing Solana action blink, local unfold to blink, but might not get proper validated. If you want validation, Dialect team suggests using Grok. So if you want to feel it like how it will be on a link itself, you may need to set up your local connected with this. But they have really worked on the test environment. We'll use it together in the development section of the guide. So we will build locally and test it, so you don't need to fret and you see it and learn from it. So they have really improved from this local testing. So solid improvement. If we go to Dialect to and you submit, you can have development now and things like that, which is so cool. Now, how do you now setting up development environment for Solana action and blink, installing those things we need and things like that? I think we should make it another video, which so that this video don't run to like an hour plus or so. So in the next video, I won't be covering what is blinks, how it works and all. We just go straight to setting up development environment and building the blinks. So make sure you subscribe, tap the notification bell, share the video, and join the Discord if you want to ask questions about this blink. Meanwhile, you need to know that I also have my time and resources, and these things are free. So please don't expect to be building your blink and be getting support from me. I won't give you that. So I only will give you support based on the content I've created. If anything, like maybe the GitHub, because you still have access to the GitHub repo and things like that. If those are not working or have some issue, then you can call my attention and ask questions of that. I can respond, but not to now give you my time to be building your blinks for you. I won't do that. You can get to learn yourself, build it, or hire someone to do it for you. Or any support, you go to the official blink something to do. And there are some resources that you may want to know about before we round up that could help in order to build for your blink. For example, how to create blinks, testing, and some other resources like that. So you can see it. We also talk about grants. Yeah, that's before I forget, we talk about how you can get grants. Presently, I'm also applying for one. So all those things, maybe if they have approved or something, I will try to maybe even share experience and things like that. So that's it for this video. Like, okay, Blink list directory explorer. Yeah, so I build a Blink list directory where you can see a Blink, and if you build, you can submit to get it added, and there are a lot other explorer as well, which are also okay. And also the DYOR integrate an explorer. You can see, for you to see sample of Blinks that people have built, like games, donation, and things like that, mint NFT and more. So, but this, the difference between this is it has each of it more detailed. That one just show actual Blink, you can interact with, but this give you details, including some things like the action JSON, which are essential, and things like that. You can get them here. So a lot of details, the demo about, so this can as well help. So these are tools you can use. And I remain Solomon Foske. Keep the programming spirit and alive, and please always do good to humanity and nature with your programming and Web3 knowledge, and not evil, to make the world a better place and universe a better place for us all. See you, and check the link in the description. I will see you in the next one where we actually build together. Thanks and bye for now.